and roll.
Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the amazing Super Chris. Thank you for joining me this morning. My wonderful co-host, the amazing Super Ryan, is here with me. She's going to be joining me in just a minute. And we're going to talk about stuff and maybe take some calls and do things. We had a Muslim individual call yesterday late in the show. I told him to call back this morning. Hopefully he will, and we'll visitate with him. Just kind of depends. We'll see what's going on. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It is Wednesday. Good morning.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh no, the Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall smite thee.
What do? You're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning goat flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick burns.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that snow, light a candle or you're going to hell.
This is my favorite.
It was just very strange how it was coming through the mic.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. I've got the Ryan here, the Ryan. Here she is. I was tinkering with my settings this morning, Ryan, and maybe it's probably why it's picking it up. Me and voice meter. I actually think I've got it fixed for now. I hope it's loud enough for everybody. It looks loud enough. Everything looks good. We shall see. Fingers crossed. There were lots of prayers involved, to see if we could get it going. Let's see. Flockmeister said, I just had a shower. That's good. It's about time. We've been talking about that here on the show, Flockmeister, and we're proud of you. Yes. John Hudson is here this morning. Chris George is here this morning. Adrian Belgrave. Hey, good morning, Adrian Belgrave. I hope your adventures through your Bible are going great. I hope you're having a good time with that. Let me do this. Did I miss somebody? I missed lots of people. There are lots of people here already. Secular Feelinist, Finest Plugins is here this morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. Hi, Ryan.
Well, hello there.
Yeah, we're kind of, I know we're halfway through the week. Do you have any plans of evil or blaspheming this weekend or anything special?
I don't know. We haven't been able to get together for my son's birthday because it's just the weather's been off every single weekend. So maybe this weekend I've got to touch base and see if it will work. But other than that, nothing much.
Nothing much. Gotcha. I don't know if you remember this or not. I have been some Shakespeare. I'm doing the Shakespeare thing, and I've actually had to cancel a couple of events in order to be able to make the Shakespeare. Yeah, and here's the why. We got the Shakespeare Festival. It was like a month and a half of rehearsals, and then a month of performances every weekend. Okay. So if I go to the Kentucky Atheist that one weekend, that one day, introducing people, I miss 2.5 months of Shakespeare.
Oh, damn.
And the same thing with the RCR, the Rocket City Reason Fest.
Oh, so you cancel both of them?
Yeah, there's another one that's after that. It's Macbeth this year, and it's another here locally to me, big deal, and another situation where it's a month of performances, a month and a half of rehearsals for one day, and they understood. I mean, Godless Engineer and Casey were fantastic. They understood totally. They're like, "Oh, we didn't know you were a Shakespearean actor."
I'm sure.
I try.
But that's exciting for you. It's a shame that you won't be able to see your friends and speak about something that you love, but you'll be doing something you love.
Very true.
So that's acting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there was one other thing that I was really thinking, I was hoping we might get to do. They got that Black Non-Believers cruise. And it's the first weekend or last weekend of November to the first weekend of December. And because of that, I can't fucking make it. Just if it were one weekend after that, I'd be able to go to that, but I can't go to that because of the Shakespeare. To be or not to be? Well, it's to be this time. So
to not be there, but you're still going to be. You're just not going to be there.
Hey, I appreciate meeting with all the people. The only one I may get to go to is NanoCon. Possibly. It falls right in between the two. That's the only one I might get to go to. Now, I've been to these places where I've kind of been really excited about going. I'm going to be a speaker, and it's going to be really good for me and for the channel, and it's going to help. And I'm going to meet Seth Andrews. I'm going to get to introduce him, and people are just going to flock to my show, and it never has done anything. It's just a I don't know. I found that it does less. Yeah. So. Yeah, but I may go to the NanoCon for fun if I can get a place, something to do if they have an opening for a speaker. I don't know what I would speak about. What could I speak about? I could speak about a lot of things.
I'm sure you have a lot to speak about when it comes to the Bible.
I is a talker. That's right.
Plenty of fuel there. You got days of content for just in one book.
So true. Yeah, one chapter of one book. I mean,
maybe even one sentence of one book, depending.
We were talking about just yesterday. We were talking about the faithful women of the Bible, and how horrific they are. That alone is I could talk for 20 minutes just on Sarai. Just for that.
Yeah, she's not a good person either. I mean, I feel badly for what she went through. And again, you guys, I don't believe any of this crap happened.
Very true. Very true.
About the story, that she still was not a good person because of what she did to Hagar.
True.
Who does that?
Who does that?
Take her, F her, bang her. Ew.
Right. And then after the child has been had, to treat Hagar so poorly. It says clearly that it was Sarah who treated her poorly. Yeah. Treated her so bad.
She went out to the desert, you guys. Like she went out to nowhere.
With her baby.
Ran out to nowhere and died.
With El Infante. That's right. But she's a faithful woman. What's that?
Flockmeister said my mic sucks. Is that any better? Was it too far away?
I'm looking at the levels. I don't see anything on my end. You sound okay to me. Yeah, we'll blame Flockmeister.
Flockmeister.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is a Blue Yeti. Other than that.
Yeah, it's a Blue Yeti.
Yeah, and that's true. You did have trouble with it this morning. Whenever you first turned it on, it was not quite right. So, let's see. Seems to be clipping. It says, is it just on her or is it on me? Hagar the Horrible. That's interesting. I don't hear any clipping at all on yours myself.
Do you think I should refresh and come back?
It couldn't hurt, and we can talk about you. I mean, we'll pray for you while you're gone.
Do you think I should?
Couldn't hurt.
Well, let me try that. If that doesn't work, we'll try something else.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. Yeah, there we go. Turn the gain down slightly. Yes, it's a little echoey is all.
What is going on? I can't even, my computer will not even let me close the window. It will not let me hang up.
I got you.
Okay, here we go. It was just really slow. Maybe something on my end. I might need to reboot.
Reboot. Lay hands upon it.
I'm going to do that. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Say a anti-JW prayer or something. Kelly Laughlin says, I found sound fine. Thank you very much. I have a very expensive mic. It's not really. It's pretty good, though. It's not expensive. It's actually one of those. It's a audio products, TZ, whatever the hell that means. But it's this tiny, small, really good little company, makes these knockoff mics of really high quality microphones. And so they end up being really high quality. Let's see. Chris George, Adrian Beats. Yeah. It does sound, what I could say was it did sound a little echoey. She sounded like she was in like her bathroom or some business. And that could have been since her software wasn't kicking in right, that the gate wasn't working or some other business. Yeah, M audio good. Yeah, it's good stuff. I dig them. Good morning, Pale Horse. Thank you for joining us. You know, I was curious, guys. So far, the calls have been interesting. I have a lot to learn. And usually, like on the fly, in the moment, I'm not willing to learn those things. I'm usually like, you just shut up. I'm talking. Later on, I go, oh, wait, yeah, that kind of happened. I should probably be more chill. But anyway, I've got a lot to learn. I was actually thinking about if I'm going to continue with the phone calling thing, which I think we probably will. I guess I ought to spend a little time and watch other people do it. You know what I mean? Matt Dillahunty and some of these other people, just to kind of see how they deal with those callers that we get, you know. Faisal is here this morning. Faisal, I hope I said that right. Faisal, there's a link. There should be a link in the chat below. Let me look and make sure. I put the link down there because sometimes no, there's a link. All right. So yeah, if you're talking about that, then we'll do the best we can here. Now, have we spoken to you, Faisal, before? Are you the one who called in and have we spoken to you before? I don't think Faisal was, but it was, you know, we'll see. Adrian says, I'm thinking about doing either OBS or Restream Thursday. I've heard I should go the OBS route. Adrian Belgrave, it really, man, I've got to tell you that, brother. That's a matter of your technical skill level. Really, yeah. Restream is pretty, oh, wait, Restream. Restream, OBS or Restream? You mean StreamYard, perhaps? StreamYard is pretty easy. I'm sure it's got some good qualities, but it's gotten very expensive, is my understanding. OBS is really good. I dig OBS. It's just hard. It's complicated. If you're a nerd and you've got the nerding skills, you know, I use it, in fact, in combination with Video Ninja. So really, where I used to have like a whole bunch of scenes and I would always just have to change a bunch of shit, I really just put it on video, run it through Video Ninja now. And like if 2 people pop in, it fixes it. 3 people fixes it. I don't have to fuck with that shit no more. So there, and OBS is free too. Yeah. Faisal, yes, I'm Faisal from Saudi Arabia. You are Muslim. Yeah, gotcha. Well, we spoke to another individual from Saudi Arabia the other day, and they were Muslim too. I'm just not sure if it was you or not. So I was just curious if it was you or not. Let's see. Kelly Lofton, if something goes wrong, it's best to stop them right there or rather than let them go on. I may not be talking. Let's see. I use OBS. Yeah, I guess you technically can stream right from YouTube. You can stream right from your phone if you want to, right on the app, the YouTube app. What did I do with Ryan? Well, her computer audio was giving us grief, so she had to restart her computer. Right now, I think she's burning some incense around the house, laying hands upon the computer, that sort of thing. She should be back here in just a moment. She was going to restart it, bless it, pray over it, sort of thing. I've heard the same as well. The tutorials are needed before starting. You know, yeah, it just depends on how complicated you're going to do. Is it just going to be you? If it's going to be you and somebody else, if it's going to be, you know, the cool thing about Video Ninja is it's free. You go there, you set up your little server, which then you save that link, and that's all you need is that link later. And then you set up another person, you give them that link. And then in OBS, you just set up like one scene and put the browser link from the Video Ninja into that scene. So whatever's coming out of Video Ninja goes there, and Video Ninja does all the hard work. So if 2 people pop in, it puts 2 people up. Really cool. And you'll see whenever she comes back, it'll put her in automatically. So it's pretty cool. Just you and your beats. Yeah, OBS would be great. And there she is. Can we hear you now?
Let me know how it sounds. If it's any different, any better.
Yeah, very sexy. Dig it.
Let's hope it lasts.
It had you had an echo before. It sounded like you were kind of in the bathroom. I think what it was all your microphones have built-in software that takes care of the echo and takes care of other things. And because your stuff wasn't working right, it hadn't engaged, and you sounded like you were sitting in the bathroom.
Ah, maybe I am.
Maybe you are. We don't know. How would we know? So good morning. We have Faisal here, trying. Faisal's trying again. The snoozer caller terminated calls. I see Faisal trying. I appreciate that Faisal's trying. I'm just curious if this is going to be another one of those. And this is what I was trying to ask: is this going to be one of those where the Bible, the Quran says the earth and the universe were created at the same time, and that's the proof of Quranic science? That's, I mean, if I'm not really interested in that conversation, but here we have Faisal. Let's see if I can turn the sound on. Hello, Faisal. Can we hear you? Hello, are you there?
Hello.
Did you hear him?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, we hear you. How's it going this morning, Faisal? Or this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Good. What can I do for you today? You called yesterday and you waited, and you didn't get to call. You'd like to visit with us. What do you have? You have a question for us atheists this morning?
No, I would like to present evidence for the existence of God.
Okay. Are you the one who called the other day and we did this where you talked about how because the Quran says that the earth and the universe were created in the same instant or something, how that's evidence? Is that where you're going? That's you?
Yes. Yeah. I presented that evidence.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll let Ryan. We'll listen and see what's got to. Tell us what your evidence is, Faisal. Tell us what your evidence is.
So, okay, I would like to present another evidence for the Islam to be true. And my evidence is in Holy Quran, God says that He has revealed this revelation, Holy Quran, and He will make it easier to remember. That is a specific thing in the Quran, that God will make this Quran easier to remember. Now we know that millions of Muslims have already memorized this Quran. And it is not in other scriptures. They haven't memorized it. No one has memorized Bible. No one has memorized other Hindu scripture or other faith scriptures. But it is only specific for Quran. And I think it is a good evidence that God has made it easy to remember, and anyone can memorize it very easily. So I think that is my evidence.
I mean, that does not work for me as evidence. That to me is more of a testament to what the human mind can do. And there were oral stories long before that people had memorized. I mean, that's allegedly how some of the stories of the Bible came to be, because they were oral stories. If you're practicing and reading something every single day, I mean, don't you think that would be likely? Eventually you're going to memorize it. If you're teaching children from a very young age verses of the Quran, and I'm sorry if I'm not saying it right, that the likelihood would be eventually you're going to memorize it.
Okay. But the thing is that, I have, when I was in high school, I learned so many definitions in chemistry, biology, and other subjects, but I have forgotten them all. But when I memorize Quran verses, they are still in my memory. Even though I don't pray daily, that is my point. They have just, absorbed in my mind, especially. But whatever I have learned in high school, I have already forgotten their definition. However, I just try to memorize them for whole year, for preparation of exam, but I have already forgotten them. So what is the special case about this Quran? And millions of people have memorized word by word. I mean, word by word. You can't even change one word here and there. They have memorized in order, word by word. And there are millions. And Quran is not just a thin book. It is
unless I'm mistaken, teaching to memorize the Quran specifically is something that happens in the Middle East. They specifically teach you to memorize it. Is that not true?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Stop. So that's true. Now let me ask this other thing real quick. Give me Juz 4, Hizbah 8 of the Quran. Give me the Surah 9, verse 5 of the Quran. You have 5 seconds. Come on, man. You got it memorized.
No.
You got it memorized. Come on. It's so easy.
I'm talking about the millions who have memorized it. I have memorized 10 verses.
Millions of people memorize Shakespeare every year, all the time. Millions of people memorize. That doesn't mean that the stories are true. That doesn't mean that Romeo and Juliet really lived. Just because people memorize it does not mean a thing, brother. Nothing. It's weak evidence.
I don't think that anyone has memorized Shakespeare or Bible. I don't think that anyone has memorized Shakespeare or something like that.
Well, that's demonstrably false.
See, that is now you're just being absurd. I am a Shakespeare actor. I can quote you Shakespeare right here. 2 households, both alike in dignity and fair Verona, where we lay our scene. Would you like more? I can prove to you that I've memorized. I think at this point, Faisal, I'm not taking you seriously anymore.
Can you memorize the whole Shakespeare word by word?
Can you memorize the whole Quran? You cannot.
But I can, but there are millions of Muslims who have already memorized it.
Wait. Just because you say there are doesn't mean there are. And I think they're probably just as good at it as you are.
No.
And listen,
I'm not making it up. That it is practical. It is real.
It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter.
Who have already memorized. I can bring someone who have already memorized it on your show, and he can just start.
I thought you already memorized it.
No, I have.
No, wait. You said it was so easy. Hold on a second. You said it was so easy to memorize. It's proof of God. Well, why don't you come back on the show tomorrow? Go memorize the Quran. It's so easy, right? God made it so easy. That's your proof that He exists. Go bring it back tomorrow, and let's talk. Let's find out how much the Quran you know.
I need 1 month. I can totally memorize.
Really?
I need 1 month. But I have already memorized 10 short verses. And it's
really?
Really?
You've memorized 10 short verses. I have an audition for Shakespeare in exactly 1 month from today. And I've memorized a monologue for Leontes from the play A Winter's Tale. I've memorized a monologue for Cassius for Julius Caesar. That's a long one. I've also, actually, you've seen one, if you've watched my show, you've seen me do monologues for that play itself, Julius Caesar. Friends, Romans, countrymen, you've seen me do that right here on the show if you've been watching my commercials. But I've actually have those, and I've got another monologue just because I now because I've memorized monologues, a whole bunch of them. That means atheism is true.
No. Have you memorized the whole Shakespeare from beginning to end?
Have you?
Word by word.
Have you listen, brother,
but
memorizing the Quran, but especially memorizing the Quran, especially by force, being forced to do so as a child, does not mean there's a God. I'm done with you, my friend. That is shit evidence. That is just unfortunate. If this is the best evidence you have, you should look inward.
No, this is one of the evidence I have presented.
It's horrific. It's as bad as the other evidence you gave the other day.
The structure and the way it's written, because that's how the old oral stories like from the Bible are written. There's this phraseology, the way they clump things together. I guarantee if you think about it, I'm sure you probably already know, that's why it's easy, if you will, to memorize it. It's just the rhythm or something.
But if you knew Arabic, if you knew Arabic, you would understand that it is something special. Because
why do we have to? Why do we have to know Arabic?
Other pagans were expert at that time, in the time of Prophet Muhammad. But when they listened the Quran, they said it is neither poetry or prose. It is something else. They were astonished. They were surprised.
I don't think so, dude.
It can't be something from human, because in Holy Quran it uses some special word like after of the day of judgment. That type of word
I really am done.
Was not in use in the Arabic society. It was something special. How can someone be?
Yeah, I'm done. No, I hung up on him. Yeah, I got.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because this whole notion. I mean, this is just ridiculous. That's some weak. I mean, we thought Christians brought weak evidence.
Memorization, I mean, that's great, but that just tells me like what the human mind can accomplish if it really puts its mind to it. And again, if you're being instilled since the age you can start to speak and you can start to write, and I'm not even saying that, you know, it's right or wrong. I mean, I don't agree with it, but that is why likely you have it written in your damn brain.
Right.
No wonder.
Yeah, and I doubt that as many. I doubt. First of all, it doesn't matter. Even if is what he says is true, if millions of people across the world have memorized the Quran, that does not mean his God is real. It doesn't. And you can, Faisal, you can sit there in queue all you want to, man. I've already told you your evidence is, I mean, so weak, and you don't care to listen. You're just going to sit there and go on about how somebody said the Quran is good, or somebody said this is real, or somebody did this thing. I mean, it's all ridiculous. It was as ridiculous the other day when you called in and you said that God, that the universe and earth, I mean, it was all ridiculous. So I'm done. Ryan, how are you doing? What do you got to say? He's been told.
You know, once you've been told, like, no, it is the truth, and this equals that, and this is how that works. I mean, that's how I grew up, and I just accepted that. Oh, no, it's obvious that this is truth because we believe differently than this person. You know, we would make up things of that nature as well to reinforce the belief in the doctrine and rigid kind of thinking. But if you really thought about it, I can't learn the Quran. I don't know Arabic, as you said. So it isn't easy because I can't do it. So why isn't it written on everybody's heart? Why do we even have to read and memorize it? Why isn't it just programmed like instinctually other things are programmed into us?
I'm kind of curious. I didn't think to ask, obviously, but I'm kind of curious what language he speaks and if he speaks Arabic. Does he speak, or what language is it written in Arabic? The Quran?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe it is. Yeah. Yeah, and I think you're not supposed to translate it from, or I don't know. I think they're supposed to memorize it in Quran, in Arabic. Anyway, I'm curious if that's his native language. You know, if his native language is Farsi or Hindi, does he understand what he's saying whenever he's reading it in?
That's a good question.
Yeah, if he doesn't speak the language. And again, how many people, if it's supposed to be read in the original Arabic, how many people actually know how to read it?
And know, you know, because things do get lost in translation, and Arabic has a lot of words. Like, they're very wordy. Like, they got 10 words for everything. You know what I mean? So does it get lost? Do you really understand what they're trying to say? Well, you remember the last time he came, his evidence for the proof of the Quran was that the Quran mentioned how the Romans were going to be defeated in a battle that must have happened at least 300 years before the Quran was written. And for him, that's magic. I'm like, dude, I even tried to explain it to him, and he did not get it. Didn't want to get it. That's part of the problem. He doesn't want to get it. Really. And again, he doesn't understand timelines. Maybe he doesn't. Well, that's the whole thing. He doesn't want to. I think he just wants to talk. He doesn't really want to hear anything. He just wants to talk. Possibly. And his evidence is pathetic. For them, it's probably a way of reinforcing their belief. Yeah, it is pathetic. Maybe. That's probably just like J-Dubs. Yeah. We're compelled to go door to door, but that's for a reason, because it continuously reinforces for us that doctrine. We're remembering things, and every time somebody says no, we're taking it as persecution. And he probably calls in and he might tell his friends and how we persecuted him, and he gave us such proof and we laughed about it, and now we're going to go with Shaitan or whatever, you know, he's called. Yeah, makes him feel better. Again, I just gave one example, just happened to be on my mind, was Shakespeare. Just memorizing stuff doesn't, I mean, you're right. It does really, it's a testament to the human brain, you know?
Yeah,
Right.
that's all it is at best.
I wish I could memorize something like that's cool. That's really cool. The best I got was memorizing the books of the Bible,
Right.
like the order of them.
Right.
Oh, that's as faithful as I got. Damn, they memorizing the whole book. But again, as you said, if you don't understand it,
Right.
what's the purpose? And if everybody can't understand it, what's the purpose?
Right. Yeah. Kelly Laughlin says the Roman Empire lasted about 800 years after the Quran was written. That's actually not true, Kelly. The Quran was written in like 770 to 800 AD. The Roman Empire ended around 500 CE. You know what I mean? So a couple hundred years at least before. And that's the end of the empire. The very end of it. And whatever that, I mean, it's just this notion that the Quran predicted some battle between, it's not working for me.
That but was just nothing. I thought he was coming with something else, like maybe some science stuff.
Me
I was
too.
gonna struggle, but that was kind of easy.
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep my mouth shut any longer than I could.
No. I'm glad you did. There was really nothing much to add. All I could add is the things that I know about, like the Bible, and even still, what also is more to my point is some of the stuff in the Bible, like the phrasing, comes straight out from Ugaritic. So that just kind of tells you, like, how they do this memorization, and then they just add their own stuff to it. Who knows what he took his stuff from?
True.
Just saying.
True. We've got Rational Poet Jackie on the phone. However, it is time for a quick break. So we're going to take a quick break. Whenever we get back, we will talk to Rational Poet Jackie. Let's do Wild Bill in case somebody wants to see some memorization going on. Wild Bill 1 coming at you.
Hello, and welcome to Shakespeare with a Redneck. What the? I am Wild Bill Wigglestick, and I'll be your handsome host, your gilded guide, your cowboy concierge of Shakespeare. Dude, really? Today on Shakespeare with a Redneck, I'm going to perform the prologue from Romeo and Juliet. Damn it, Bill. Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage, the which if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. Hey, that wasn't half bad. I'm not as dumb as I look. Of course not. You'd be in a coma. Okay, so here's a quick rundown of the situation. Bill, two snot-nosed brats ignore the warnings of their learned parents and end up getting 4 people killed. Bill, come on, man, you're always blah, blah, atheist stuff, blah, blah, boring. Say something fun, for goodness sake. What? Particle is a fun word. Bill, particle, particle, particle. Bill, or talk about horses and dogs. People love horses and dogs. Or boobies. Everybody loves boobies. Bill, oh, can I say boobies on YouTube? If you close your eyes, it doesn't count. Talk about boobies then. Okay, everybody loves those cute little blue-footed bastards. It hurts right here. Culture, baby, coming at you. Avoid bringing a plague on both your houses. A plague on both your houses! By hitting that subscribe button, then that little notification bell. And bang that thumbs up button like frisky cousins at a family reunion. Thank you and take care.
Peace. All right, we are back and we have got Rational Poet Jackie on the line here. Let me bring her up. There are multiple clicks, so bear with me. Un moment, s'il vous plaît. Jackie, are you there? Hello, Jackie. Oh, it's muted. There we go. Now I can hear you. How's it going, Jackie?
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, good.
Good morning, Jackie.
Good.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, this isn't brought up enough when I listen to a lot of atheist shows, and this isn't brought up enough. The fact that I've been like online for since the early 2000s, and I've listened to every religion, bar none. And I even hate it when Sam Harris tries to say that there's something to Buddhism. I hate that too. But my point is, every religion has apologists who try to argue that science points to their God in their books of mythology. Every religion, bar none. And it's like, if any one of you had the truth as far as science matching your God, it would be taught in every classroom in the world, because it would be as universal as the laws of thermodynamics or gravity or something. But it's not, because religion is not science. It is a belief. But you were mentioning Shakespeare, and this will be really quick, and I'll hang up after this. This is my ode to Shakespeare.
Okay.
Atheist style.
Awesome.
This is it's Macbeth's Act 5, Scene 5. It's an ode to that. It's called Out Brief Candle. To deities and to gods and to God creeps in this petty tyrant from day to day. Until the extinction of humanity, new ones will be invented. And all of our yesterday's gods have been created by fools. The way to tribal death. Out brief myth. Claims are but a walking shadow, a poor reflection that struts our narcissism upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by the credulous, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. That's it.
That's a good one. I enjoy that. I'm actually studying that because the fall play is Macbeth, so I'm studying that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the monologue. One of the monologues I didn't choose was that one.
Yeah, but you know what? For a long time, I could not understand Shakespeare. I felt dumb as a rock. But I forced myself to read Othello and Macbeth two various nights in a row, and I used Cliff Notes to cheat my way through it. And I'm so glad that I did that, because I'm not afraid of lofty things as much as I used to be. So,
gotcha.
Anyway,
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
Thank you.
I'm glad to
all
hear
right.
it.
Well, I
Thank
just
you.
thought I'd share that with you, and I'll let you guys go.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Rational Poet Jackie. You have a great day. Thank you for calling in. Again, we appreciate it. Bye. Now, Faisal has asked once again, if I have more evidence, blah, 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 blah. You don't have any evidence, man. If you had it, you'd have given it. The last time, let's see, this whole notion, you think, blah, 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 blah. Well, I just don't have time for it. Ryan, your thoughts? Because you see what he's saying in the chat. Give him 30 minutes. And then he's like, he has more evidence. And then he says that his point is that no one has memorized every word of Shakespeare. That's his point. And because no one has memorized every word of Shakespeare, that somehow bolsters his point, if he could even prove that. He can't prove that, but that bolsters his point somehow that memorizing the Quran is some sort of special thing. And that because people memorize the Quran, that in and of itself means it's true. And I think that's just ridiculous. That's not even...
It is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. You go, girl.
It is. He only believes that because he was told that. And we've pretty much proven through just our conversations here that from youngsters, kids they're told that they need to read the Quran. They're told they need to be able to spell it out. I don't understand how that is considered connected to God. I mean, are the ABCs connected to God because they're easy to memorize? No, it's probably because the song makes it easy and it flows in a very specific way. I mean, doesn't psychology talk about that?
Yeah. Well,
ways to make things easier.
You're right. You're right. There are ways. Lots of ways. Breaking them into chunks, all kinds of things. There's matter of fact, part of Shakespeare is broken into chunks. For that reason. I did notice that Kelly Laughlin was saying about how the empire went on, and somehow, I don't know why you'd be arguing for Faisal, but just to clarify, Faisal was talking about how the Greeks had defeated the Romans. So it doesn't matter how fucking long the empire went, whether it was 400 years or 1500 years. The last battle between the Greeks and the Romans was 146 BC. So stop defending this fucking moronic bullshit. It's just moronic. Anyway, I mean that. I mean that in the best of ways. I don't mean that as ugly. I'm talking, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Quran is thick book. No one can, that's ridiculous. You're wrong. I'm not, go ahead, Ryan. I'm going to sit here. I wish Kelly were here. I'd let Kelly tell him shit.
That's dumb. I'm sorry, Faisal. That's dumb. If your belief in God hinges on that, it's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm so sorry. I don't know what else to say about that. That's good for you, great for you, but that would be stupid for me to go like, oh my God, I need to learn the Quran now and I need to worship Allah, because obviously he's the God, because I can memorize this.
Because that's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. It is ridiculous. No, well, maybe offense, but anyway, good for you. I'll fight for your right to believe it.
Well, here's part of the deal.
No, I will.
His idea of what evidence is very, very, very low. It's not real evidence. He takes hearsay to be evidence. He takes supposition to be hearsay. He takes rumor, I guess, to be evidence. It's not evidence.
Does it work for everything else in his life?
I don't know.
The evidence?
You know, there is a universal language that is the same, that means the same, that never changes, and that's mathematics. Why doesn't God speak in mathematics?
Oh.
Funny that. And they'd be like, well, he does speak in mathematics. Notice there's patterns. Well, if he does, it's a shit language for that purpose, because nobody can understand it unless you're a super mathematician, and most of them don't believe in God. So this notion that God speaks a perfect language, I mean, it falters at every time. Yeah.
Maybe what Elon and Teal are saying, because AI speaks binary, speaks math. So maybe we're creating God. Just saying. Oh my goodness! Come to think of it, since humans always seem to create God, maybe humans created God like in 700 CE.
Maybe.
It's a very similar concept. I mean, that's really what Teal and Elon are kind of trying to say, and those other rich tech bros, is they want to wipe out like the human race and make us like hybrids or the new super AI, I don't know what the hell, lifestyle, but they don't really see us as being part of that dynamic,
right?
For whatever reason. It's really creepy.
I know. And the same person who claims that his book proves that it knows science also claims that it's not a science book whenever you put it up against the wall. Well, we know that. He's like, it tells people a good way to live. Well, it really doesn't, depending on, if he lives by example, then it's a pretty bad example. To cut off the fingertips and I guess Surah 9, they don't like Surah 9.
Yeah, I don't understand why we want to be so tethered to and tied to such an archaic, ancient moral system. Right. If it worked for them back then, okay, I wasn't there, I can't tell you. But for me right now, that ish is old school. It's prehistoric. It
really is
thinking, those thoughts. It really is, Chris. So I wouldn't want to hold on to that. Now, maybe traditionally I'd want to talk about it. Like, my dude, the guy that, from my tradition, he started some stuff that really got the ball rolling for rights. Yeah. But look where we are today. Yeah.
Yep.
You want to take what we have away today just to go back to that? Ew.
Yep. Yes. Let me do this real quick. There are 550,000 to 600,000 words in the Old Testament, depending on which books you like to read. And the New Testament, let's see how many words it has, because it's got 180,000 words. It's interesting that all of the books of the religion of Abraham are bigger than the Quran. How does that make you feel? Wait,
what? Say this again. I'm sorry. The books of Abraham.
Are they? The New Testament is 180,000. The New Testament's 180,000 words. The Old Testament is 500,000 words. The Quran is 70,000 words.
Okay.
75 to 80. So it's not even that big a book. Yeah, but it's not even that big a book. I wrote a science fiction book, and it's longer than that. By about 15,000 words.
Dang.
Granted, I haven't been able to mentally abuse 1 billion people into memorizing it. Yeah.
I mean, you just haven't tried hard.
You're right. I got a low bar too.
You tried. You just got to tell them it's real and that God told you to do it. And more than likely, you will eventually get a cult following.
Right. I think I need to. I need to have a cult. Why don't we have a cult following, Ryan? I think we should have.
We could start a cult.
I think the problem is I don't show enough cleavage. That's the deal. I don't show enough cleavage. And I
can't
could.
help you with that. I can show Jesus cleavage right there.
No, see.
Jesus titties.
No. If you were to do it, it'd be inappropriate. We don't need that kind of problem.
Can't do that.
Listen, you showed a slight amount of underboob one day and you sent the Christians scurrying from this room.
Oh my Lord. It was like, is this the 18 plus stream? Oh my God.
Really?
Oh, so easily offended.
I think it's cool that people under 18 have never seen nipples. Isn't that weird? Just a thought.
Okay.
Of course, I'm a free the nipple kind of person, so. Okay, Faisal says, God says if he were to include all things, Quran would be as thick as a mountain. Yeah, I'm sure they say that. You know, John in the Bible says, in the New Testament says that if all the deeds of Jesus were written, there wouldn't be enough pieces of paper in the books to hold it. Does that mean Jesus is real? Is he the true prophet of God? The end of the Old Testament says, don't add to this book or don't change it. And then your prophet comes along and adds to by the completely new book. It sounds to me like you're the one doing it wrong. And you should actually be a Christian. And that the Quran is actually an abomination because the last part of the final part of the New Testament, 700 years before your book, said not to add or change to this book.
It's all contradictory.
It is.
The Hebrew scriptures contradict the Israelite scriptures, and that contradicts the Greek scriptures and the Aramaic. None of it lines up because why? Because it's all just stories by different authors that had an agenda. They had propaganda to sell and to sling.
Yeah.
And
let's see here.
It's a tale as old as time. Damn.
It is a tale
still
as
didn't
old.
happen today.
Yep. I am looking here. Currently, I'm just kind of looking. There are tens of thousands of people who 100,000 patrons annually. I mean, it's hard to say. There are millions of people who know how to do Shakespeare, who know Shakespeare. Millions of people. I'm just trying to find it on the thing. There's 400. I've heard at any given time, any time of the day, any day of the year, Hamlet is being performed somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
You know, and all that must mean that what Shakespeare said was true.
I was just going to say, maybe one day that will be what's written on people's heart and will be made to grow up memorizing Shakespeare.
Oh, that would be so fantastic.
I'm just saying.
But the morons would be memorizing the wrong things. You know. Anyway, just like with any book.
But you know, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if we did that, if like from this date here on out, everybody was to memorize Shakespeare, just let's make that law across the world, across the globe, we could eradicate, Islam or whatever else books and say that this was so easy to memorize and we all memorized it. So it must be from God, and people would believe it. That would be their evidence. It works for you, so it will work for somebody else.
I tell you what, here's an example, an experiment we could have. We could take a monologue from Shakespeare, and we could take a verse from the Quran of equal length, and then we could see who we could teach to our audience easiest. And I don't think the Quran would win. Yeah, I think they'd have a hard time. I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, you should leave. Faisal asks, am I taking you up or should I leave? Well, you should leave. I'm not going to take you up. All of your evidence has been ridiculous. It's not even evidence, dude. And you can't see that.
Why do you want to convince us so bad? Like, I'm not, like, what do you want us to coalesce to, bro?
Yeah.
Coalesce that it's your thing, that it gets you off. I can do that. But as for me in my house, I use critical thinking, and it's not my bag, baby.
Yeah. And are you trying to convince us? Or are you trying to convince yourself?
Sorry.
I don't know. That's kind of a good question. But yeah, all this evidence was just not evidence. It's not even it's ridiculous to consider it evidence. It's like believing Spider-Man is real because more issues of Spider-Man have been printed than issues of the Quran. Therefore, Spider-Man must be real. That's probably not true. But I can make it up, right? Just like he does. What's that?
I said, but there's so many movies about him. How could it not be true?
Yeah, very true.
Stories are written about him, so
yeah,
probably true.
I know. And why didn't I start worshiping Spider-Man a long time ago? Oh.
I don't know. Maybe there was just other superheroes that got in the way first to make the way for Spider-Man. You know?
Yeah. Blockmaster says Shakespeare is only available in the King James version for $2.
Oh, goodness.
He's not wrong. Here's the thing that some people don't know. Okay. If you speak a foreign language like French or Italian or Spanish, you'll know that they have a familiar and a proper, you know? Some of you say to your family, you say to your family, you say usted to somebody you don't know. There's a proper, you know, English used to have that too. And instead of saying to, the familiar, we would say the. And if it was somebody proper, like our boss, you would say you. If you were talking to your brother, you'd say the. If you were talking to your boss, you would say you. But they've dropped that. We don't do that anymore. But that's how they write it in Shakespeare. And that's why you'll see the thou art, the these, the that. That's why, because they're actually speaking a form of English that still has that vestigial remnant of when we spoke, in that way. But we don't anymore.
You know, people really think Jesus spoke that way.
He didn't speak that way?
People who like with the thou's and the these and the...
He didn't speak that way? What are you talking about? That's crazy talk.
Wait, what?
How'd you get on my show? Pike Photography and Collectibles, good morning. I think it says Pike. Does that say Pike? Good morning, Pike Photography. I think that's what it says. It was very tiny on my screen. Became a subscriber. Thank you for becoming a subscriber. We appreciate you. Welcome to the damnation, fellow burner.
Good morning.
Yeah, so Rational Poet Jackie, I speak English in invisible ink. Good morning, Disco Poppy. Yeah, I do snack. I get up stupid early. 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. By the time the show starts, for anybody else, it'd be like after lunch, and I'm starving. So I usually snack on something. I kind of do it regular. It's shameful. I see other people run their shows. I'm like, man, why are you eating on a live stream? And then here I am, shoveling my face every day in a live stream. Most people don't call me out on it, though. Thank you for that. Just, you know, I wasn't self-conscious about it, but now.
Well, Faisal, regardless, as I told you before, okay, so you're saying Spider-Man is a comic character. What I want to tell you is I believe that similarly, people like Abraham, Moses, Joseph, etc., were also characters in a way, a way to tell a story. Yeah. So I can still respect Spider-Man. I can still watch Spider-Man. I can still enjoy it, knowing that it's not true. I could take morals from the stories if I chose to, even though they're not true, right?
Yeah.
We can use them as allegories or metaphor, yada, yada, yada. Similarly, the same thing with the ancient Hebrew characters. I don't believe they existed. It was a really cool way to memorize things, to know things about your history, to know why things came to be, like eschatology of sorts. But as far as a real or a connection to God, it's as connected as Spider-Man is.
And, you know, Faisal may not realize that before writing, it was oral traditions that most people passed things down with. So, and even during their time of writing, most people didn't know how to write. They still told stories to convey meaning and to memorize things in song form and other things. So, and when you think about it, even the Bible has songs in it. The Psalms are, you know, and learning a song is an easy way to remember it.
Absolutely. Right. That's the reason they did it, because people weren't able to read, but you could probably sing a song and memorize it. Is it from God? No, it's just smart. It's smart in a time where people can't read.
Right.
Is entertainment / religion / politics, probably, you know?
Probably. Ooh, we got Jay here in the GL8P. Good morning, Jay. I'm going to call you Jay. Jay says, atheists like playing Russian roulette. Is there life or death after death, or isn't there? Actually, we don't believe there is. So we're not playing anything. It's you, my friend, who are playing Russian roulette. You believe in God, but which God? How do you know you're believing God the correct way? If you don't believe the God the correct way, are you going to hell? Did you know that Moses wasn't allowed into the promised land because 20 some odd years later, he struck a rock instead of talking to it? God doesn't forgive shit like that. And if you aren't worshiping correctly, you're the one going to hell. And you just don't know. You have no way to tell if you're the right one. Is Faisal the right one? Maybe Faisal's the one worshiping the correct way, and you're not, and you're the one going to hell. I think you kind of have it backwards, my friend. Good morning, Ways to Human, AJ. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, that whole like God thing, as I said before, like if you're not worshiping the same God, like if you believe Abraham existed and Moses existed, if you're not worshiping the same God, why are you even trying to connect the same stories? Do you know you're worshiping the same God? There's a bunch mentioned in the Bible. Did you pick the right one? Have you been deceived? Has Shaitan confused you on purpose?
They may have been received. Looks like we have somebody who says, this is Dave, and wants to talk to us about how a terrible youth of atheist people are. A terrible use of, let's just put him on the phone. Let him say what he means.
Hello?
Hello?
What are you doing?
Hello.
I thought I smelled something. You know, I have caller ID, don't you, John?
I told you who I was this time. It's not Dave, man.
It's
not here, man.
Oh, I see. Good morning, John. How are you doing?
It's okay, man. It's okay. I'm not a calling kind of guy show, and you guys are kind of making it fun.
We have a face for it.
Put it out that way. Yeah, I know.
Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
I'd like it. No, I didn't think I was going to like this. In fact, I can stand maybe 5 minutes of the others, and just want to thank you guys for making it fun, because a big part of my morning, every morning, gets me going.
And thank you.
So, yeah.
We get you up and at him, are you saying, John?
Yeah, he gets firm because of us.
So you were flaccid, and we've made it easy for you to be hard as a rock.
I'm rock hard for the damn show.
Rock hard for Doug and for Damn.
That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, for Damn.
I'm glad you're enjoying it because I remember specifically whenever I was asking for votes out there, you were one of the ones that wasn't too keen on the idea of us taking calls, you know.
I mean, I'll watch like Wiseman or something, but I can only stand a couple minutes of it, man. It's just like it just gets tired, you know. It gets tired.
Well, when you hear the same arguments over and over,
I wanted you. I just wanted, you know, you guys were doing something unique, and you're doing something unique with the call-in too, which is really cool, you know.
We're trying. I appreciate you, John. It's a growing thing, man. And
like us.
Yeah. To be honest, your help, man, you people and all the people out there who support the channel, even, I'm not even talking financially. Sometimes I just go, when I'm down and I'm not feeling it about the show, I just go back and watch like the most recent show and check the chat. You guys are wonderful. You know, you're all fantastic, you know.
You got a really clever chat too. I mean, I catch myself literally laughing. You know,
they're pretty funny. Yeah, I enjoy them too.
Some mornings, I mean, my jaw will be just hurting because, you know, and it's an awesome way to start my day. I mean, I'm out here on the ranch. I'm by myself most of the time.
Yeah,
you know,
you and those sheep.
So I'm glad to have you guys there in the morning. It makes my day.
Thank you.
And then I pop in and see Ember a little bit during breaks and Punk in the afternoon. But it's generally when I'm taking a break. You know, my mornings are with you guys.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And we're with you.
Thank you.
And we are. Yeah, that's right.
Well,
that's right. We love you too. And we get to thank you for having your movement with us every morning.
Okay. I'm actually off the toilet. When all that interference started happening with the channel, I think it's when I flushed.
Help me.
Thank you, John. You're awesome. We very much appreciate you.
Thanks so much, John. I got my toilet paper free, buddy.
John is awesome. Thank you, John. That is wonderful. Let's take us a quick break. I'm going to do our second Wild Bill commercial. Faisal said he was flouncing, I believe is the term. I bet you're still there, though. We're going to do the second Wild Bill commercial. We'll be back in just a minute, and we'll carry on with the show. Hello, and welcome to Shakespeare with a Redneck. Finally, I'm Wild Bill Wigglestick, and this is my trusty sidekick, Willie the Kid. And we'll be your handsome hosts, your gilded guide, your cowboys, concierges to Shakespeare. Oh, how cute. Wait, is that at 2, Ollie? Run along, little doggy. Bill, where the hell have you been? Well, you know, I've been roaming the earth, going back and forth upon it, to and fro and whatnot. I like to travel too. Wait a second. Yep, back and forth upon earth, doing unto others before they do unto me. Bill, are you quoting the Bible? Trying to quote the Bible? Indeed I am. Despite my appearance, I am a man of culture and know many things, not just Shakespeare. Really? So you have a Shakespeare monologue related to atheism or skepticism? Indeed I do. Bear witness. Oh, this is going to be good. This is the excellent foppery of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, often the product of our own behavior, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, and stars, as if we were villains on necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion, knaves, thieves, and treacherous by spherical predominance, drunkards, liars, and adulterers by an enforced obedience of planetary influence, and all that we are evil in by a divine thrusting on. An admirable evasion of whoremaster man to lay his goatish disposition to the charge of a star. My father compounded with my mother under the dragon's tail, and my nativity was under Ursa Major, so that it follows I am rough and lecherous. I should have been that I am, had the maidenliest star in the firmament twinkled on my bastardizing. Wow, that really is spot on about what we cover here on the channel about how, people. So here's a quick rundown of the situation. Bill, this non-believer, ignores the teachings of his learned father and ends up getting 4 people killed. Bill, that's not. Okay, carry on. Shakespeare was a heathenistic non-believer bound for the fiery pits of hell, just like yourselves. I don't think. And in order to throw the murderous church of the time off his heathen trail, he writes the skeptic as a sneaking, lying, adulterated father and brother, hating and betraying villain who ends up getting his comeuppance in the end. Bill, oh, come on, man. You're always blah, blah, Bible stuff, blah, blah, boring. You got to spice things up. Bill, tacos are spicy. Everybody loves tacos. Bill, tacos and boobies. Okay, you're not wrong there either. Tasty and delicious culture, baby, coming at you. Avoid the storm of familial discontent. Blow winds and clap your cheeks by clicking that subscribe button and hitting that. Wait a second. Don't you mean crack your cheeks? Nope. Bill. Send safely, my friends. Take care.
Peace.
I'm just looking at the chat there.
There we are. We're back.
Good morning.
Surprise. The chat. They really are going on. I saw Jay said, to be honest, Chris, this is not a good source of knowledge. You guys know he could be wrong. You talking about me? Could be wrong? Yeah, they know I could be wrong. And you asked how I know there's nothing. I didn't say I know there's nothing after death. What I say is that I don't believe there's something after. You have to prove to me that there's something after, and you haven't been able to do it. Nobody has been able to. And this notion like ghosts and stuff, the notion of ghosts is ridiculous evidence. If there were real ghosts, they'd be everywhere. Everywhere, all the time. It would be so undeniable. 107 billion people have lived on this planet. There'd be ghosts everywhere. Your TV newsman would be over his grandma, oh, you didn't straighten your tie, honey, and let me straighten. And then she'd be straightening her, you know what I mean? The ghost of his grandmother would be straightening his tie. These are just all kind of ridiculous. Even if you could somehow prove that there was an afterlife, it's a whole other step to be able to prove that Jesus or God or any of that has anything to do with it. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's, Zeus. Go ahead.
Unless that's when they finally talk to you. Yeah, but and you could get up there and it's Zeus and he's like, I don't know why you were dissing on me so much, bro. It's been me the entire time.
I know, right? AJ's here. Good morning, AJ. AJ, do they have any spots available in the NanoCon? Because of Shakespeare, I've had to cancel 2 of my atheist events. NanoCon's the only one I can actually make this year, so I just thought I'd throw that out there. I was going to hit you up with a message, but you're here. So, and yes, Faisal, if you'll call Deconstruction Zone, he'll talk to you. I think almost anybody will.
About the crime?
Yeah, I think he does. But I think almost any atheist show will talk to you for a little while. But you just kind of spout nonsense. It's not real evidence, and they're not going to put up with that for very long.
Yeah. It only goes so far, especially because it's the same regurgitated arguments, like no offense. So anybody who knows anything is probably already familiar with the arguments. I myself am not, because I'm just not that well deconstructed or even read. But again, I just use my common sense when I can. See where that gets me.
Reason your way out of it. That's crazy to think. I appreciate these people. I feel like almost all of them are trapped. They were indoctrinated and they can't see their way out. Yeah,
that's how it feels.
Yeah. And some of them, like the guy yesterday, man, Titus was really sharp. He seemed, I feel like he could be a power for good on our side. Once he got over the notion that there was a God behind every mathematical coincidence or whatever. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's like, therefore God.
Therefore God. Larry the Tapeworm is here. Good morning, Larry the Tapeworm. How are you doing? Whenever theists bring up hell, I tell them I'm no more scared of hell than I'm scared of being reincarnated as a dung beetle. I'd never thought about that. That is a little disturbing for not being a devout Hindu.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I didn't know. I may need to be a Hindu.
I thought about it.
Which is worse? Hell, dung beetle. Hell, dung beetle. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I feel like hell would, again, like it would be with the cool people. So I'd be cool with hell.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's where all the fun people would be. That's right. Brent A just rolled up. Good morning, Brent. We've had a couple of interesting callers and people in the chat. Faisal is still here despite the flounce, and that's okay. I mean, if you stay long enough, you'll learn something. Maybe what real evidence is supposed to be. One of the things we tell Christians here, Faisal, generally, is that because the Bible says the Bible is true, is not evidence. That's not evidence. So remember that. Just because your book says it's true doesn't mean that's evidence. The Spider-Man says Spider-Man is true, but it's not. It's just a story. Like Ryan said, it's just a story.
Yeah. Cool story. You could even learn things from it if you wanted to.
You could.
Doesn't mean it has to be real to do all those things, to have benefits from it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Isn't it?
You're the one who's making a choice to take it so seriously that it has to be like factual, actual history.
And I think you're fine. I don't know if it's you doing this, Faisal, or if it's something you've learned, but you're really just evident. It's like I got to think this is all stuff somebody's told him. I mean, he didn't come up with us all on his own. Sort of like the guy yesterday. Yeah. At least the guy yesterday had some, I don't want to say good apologist arguments, but they used a lot of really big words that sounded like they were in science. He tried to use science to prove his Quran, and then we're like, that's not science, that's ridiculous. And then later on, whenever I'm like, why doesn't he use mathematics to speak a language people could understand and really be understood? He's like, oh, this is not a science book. Wait a second. Anyway.
Yeah. But, and you know, too, if I had to write a book, if I were God and I was going to write a book about what people needed to do, God damn, that's the worst instruction book I've ever seen.
That's true.
I mean, all of them, like from the Hebrew Bible to the New Testament to the Quran. I'm sorry. It's just not for me.
I may have misunderstood Jay. Sometimes, Jay, you got to understand, people come in here, they rock in here and they come in hot. And I'm so used to responding hot. Jay said he's not convinced as well. And then he says something about if you do accept Jesus, then if you do not accept Jesus, then it is eternal hell for you. What about those who lived before Jesus? How could they accept? And that's an interesting point we've made here on the show. And that's like, people think that Jesus brought good. But before Jesus, there was no hell like we know it. There was no hell. There was no burning fire pits, none of that. There was a reference to Sheol, and that was really just about... That wasn't what you think it is. There was no hell before Jesus. Jesus brought you a path to God and a pit of fire. They didn't have that pit of fire before. So whenever they're talking about the good news, the gospel is the good news. It's actually not. It brought hell with flames and gnashing of teeth.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank your Christian friends.
Yes.
Who started this lovely destination for you. They said, here, welcome to our religion. Now choose your life.
That's
free.
For now. Larry the Tapeworm says, if acts are moral, immoral, objectively, they would be, I'm sorry, it moved. They would be moral, immoral, independently. Sorry, man, the chat is rolling. You guys are fantastic. Or whether or not they were obtained to be moral or immoral. You know, that's a great point. If they were moral, they would be universally moral, but they're not. And really, what is a sin and what is immorality? Let's take this. I got an example for you. I like this example. This is fun. Let's take God, the Yahweh, and let's put God over here on this mountain. Boop. He's on this mountain. And over here, we've got Zeus. And Zeus is here. I'm using Zeus because people know who Zeus
Olympus
is.
And we got Zephon.
Yeah. So we got these two different places. And really, what's a sin? If Zeus says it's a sin, is it a sin? If Zeus says having sex with your sister and your daughter is okay because he did that, is that okay? Is that a sin? Okay. Which God are you talking about? Sin is relative to the God.
Pay for him to do it, but not you.
That's right. And if we're talking about incest, the God of the Bible loves incest. It's all through the Bible, all through the Old Testament. It's like, oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yahweh was married to his mom. So, I mean, he even like committed all the way.
Well, yeah. And when you think about it, if God is Jesus, then God inseminated Mary, meaning Jesus inseminated Mary, which means,
oh man,
that's natty.
God,
isn't that just natty?
When you really think about it, it's like this one big.
I'm just saying, if God and Jesus are the same thing, and God knocked boots with Jesus' mom, that means Jesus knocked boots with Jesus' mom, because Jesus is God. Ooh, Atheist Mechanic says incest, a game the whole family can play. True enough. And it's all in the Bible too. All up in the Bible. We talked about that on the show yesterday. Sarai and Abraham, or Abram, I guess at this point. Abram and Sarai were half sister, half brother, and cousins. Because that's how they rolled back then.
Yeah. Keep it in the family.
And that they would be as unawares enough to write it down in a holy book. I mean, if I was knocking boots with my sister, I wouldn't tell anybody. I mean, have you seen my sister? She is fugly, but that's not why I wouldn't tell anybody. She looks like me, except for her beard is kind of down to here.
It's a very strange book to actually, like you said, write in history, to put pen to paper, or whatever the hell they're using, to say, I banged my sister, I married my sister, my half sister, whatever, and then I sold her, and then I did, like, man, I'd be so embarrassed. Then I almost killed my son, and then I, like, damn boy, like, you got a laundry list of issues you did. It's really messed up,
right?
And it's a history, and these guys are good people. Like, what?
They're the best. These are what do you call them? The godliest of men or something. That's like Noah was described as the godliest of men or some business. And like, really? You did see what he did, right? Anyway, we have a caller, Jeff, the skeptical disciple, the morality of your mission. Let's find out what Jeff has to say, if you don't mind. Let me bring Jeff up. Let me do this here. My number, make sure everything's okay. Let's see if we can hear Jeff. Jeff, are you there? Jeff is not there. Hold on a second. Let me do this. It's probably Jeff. Can you hear me? Hello, Jeff. I don't see any sound coming from Jeff. I don't think it's my fault this time.
No, maybe.
He may be communicating with us through interpretive dance. Oh, looks like we lost the call. Sorry, Jeff. Thought we had you. 1,000 apologies. Jeff, I'm going to just put this up here, skeptical, in case he calls back. But Ryan, would you like a shot at that? What the morality of your mission? Do you feel like your mission is moral or not moral? Who thinks their mission's not moral? Yeah, go ahead.
What do you mean? My mission, like making content and like educating people?
I would guess. That was just, that was the question.
Oh, that was the question.
Yeah.
If that's what you're meaning, moral. I wouldn't put it that way because I don't know that I'm like some shining example of morality, honestly.
I am. That would be me.
But it's Chris. It's all the way Chris. Right. Definitely not me. Right. But I do feel like it's a way for me to explain to people that I was in a very, special kind of predicament in my life. And it was very harmful and it was unhealthy for me. And I found my way out of it. So like, hey, let me show you what I found and maybe you'll commiserate with me. Maybe you'll find that on some kind of level, you felt the same way. You felt like you were questioning and not getting answers and that resonates with you. So it's not like a moral mission. It's just more of like I'm compelled to share my experience.
Cool. It looks like he's back. We'll see if we can get him on the air. Hello, Jeff. Are you there? Can you hear us? There may be like a mute button on your end that you got to undo. I'm not really sure, brother. I don't see your. I'll tell you what. I can't hear you. It all looks to be on my end. So I'm going to just kind of answer the best. I actually feel like my mission is moral. Of course, it's morality is subjective, right? But let me ask you, If you saw a priest harming a child, is it moral or immoral to stop that priest from harming a child?
It would be immoral if you did not stop that priest.
It would be. So I feel like it would be moral for me to stop that priest. Okay. So by that same token, just extend that to the rest of what religion does. Religion harms people in so many different ways. And if I can stop those people from believing in these hate faiths, these systems that other people, they make these, they're others. They're not us, they're others. And that's what these entire systems do. If I can pull people away from that and they're not hurting people, they're not hurting their own family members, they're not voting against their own interests because babies and God or whatever, because of being misled, then I feel like that's a very, very moral mission. Myself, I feel like it's more moral than any priest when you think about it. That's my feeling. Of course, that would be my opinion.
To me, it's almost just like the Garden of Eden. We're kind of like propositioning people with knowledge. Here you go. We're not telling you have to believe like they are. We're telling you, here.
You can hear me now.
Now we can hear you.
Oh,
there he is.
I don't know what was going on.
I don't know. We got you though. Hey, Jeff, how are you doing? Good. Be safe if you're driving. You are over 18, right?
And then some. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
And I'm not driving. I'm sitting on my computer.
Awesome. You're my hero. Well, I thought to start asking that because other channels ask. I thought, well, maybe I should too. Good morning. What's your thoughts, Jeff?
I was going back and forth, so I didn't catch too much of your response earlier because I was trying to figure out what was going on with my microphone.
Understood.
But yeah, as far as the morality of your mission, I mean, I've just found your show and listened for, I don't know, about a half an hour or so.
You poor thing.
Yeah, Jeff is an old fart. Jeff's 56 years old.
Me too.
But
carry on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. The problem that I have with kind of this space and the atheist thing, which really got a big push by the new atheist movement and all that, and just so you know, I've been super agnostic my entire life, and only recently have I actually started like reading the Bible myself and that sort of thing to sort of nail down my beliefs. I'm reading the Quran also. I'm reading the Old Testament. I'm reading some stuff on Baha'i. I don't know if you've ever. Anyway, I think there's bits and pieces of wisdom to kind of be found in all of the religions, and of course, there's also a lot of sort of inserted stuff by men trying to accomplish a goal. And it's funny, you guys were I did catch earlier, you guys were talking about if you can help save somebody from a bad actor, in a church or something like that. If a priest is harming a child, obviously
right.
you should step in that case. But I think to keep it broad and basically bash all religion, all belief as being ridiculous, and saying things like, yeah, God banged Mary and that's how they got Jesus. I mean, to me, I think that's just being disrespectful.
Okay. Blasphemous.
For the memes, for the laughs or whatever. I understand, getting a result. But for me, just from my experience, I'll give you a really quick story. When I was young, I knew something about the Bible. My mom was very knowledgeable about the Bible, but she just told us, go figure out what you believe on your own. And if you have questions, come and ask me. But anyway, came home from work after a bad day, and there were these two kids, Jehovah's Witnesses, and I saw them when I, pulled in. I knew they were coming, and I usually just wouldn't even answer the door. But I'm like, I'm going to answer the door this time. So I answer the door, and they're young, like maybe 18, and you could tell one was like the elder kid and the other was in training. And so I started debating with this kid, and I'm just picking him apart and feeling very self-righteous in doing so. But I noticed the look on this trainee's face. He was very bright and smiley and all that when they started. By the time they left, he was not so happy. You could see the doubt in his face. I actually ended up feeling like shit after that. About an hour or so after that, I'm like, who am I to take that away from that kid? And I know just through living my life, obviously, I wrote a song when I was a kid called The Religious Hypocrite about all the shit, all the trappings with church and organized religion. But for some people, that belief is kind of what carries them through. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So taking that belief and people who are genuinely just trying to be good people and believe in something bigger than themselves, to me, to insert that doubt, that, virus, to give them doubt in their own beliefs, what is getting them to the next day is almost cruelty.
Well, I disagree, if I may. Now, here's the thing. Okay. You say it's cruelty to rip that away from them, but religious people hurt so many other people in so many different ways. This little old lady who's out
all religious people.
No, not all religious people. You can't really say that about anybody, though, can you? I'm talking about religion in and of itself is harmful. You've got priests out there who are preaching and they do nothing but steal money. They'll take every dime from some little old lady and rob them of their wealth. Look at Jerry Falwell. Look at all those stupid rich people. Look at all the people out there who have allowed their children to die not taking medication because this religion is harmful, man, and it's harmful in so many different ways. Now, that little old lady, she may not be hurting nobody. She's got her beliefs, and I don't want to rip that away from her, do I? Well, let's see. Can she still vote? Is she going to vote for somebody who's going to take away my rights, my wife's rights, my daughter's rights? Is that what she's going to do? Then yes, I would gladly rip her religion away from her and expose how horrific and disgusting it is, because she's going to hurt somebody. She's going to hurt somebody with her vote. And that's the way I feel.
Crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy. But like you said, as far as like you have these churches taking this money from old people, you have these huge call centers of people who are not religious, who are not Christians, taking people's life savings away from them. It's not the religion.
Well, wait a second.
It's people. It's human nature.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But no, it's actually built into the religion. You should read the holy text. Me and Ryan have talked about it on the show many times about how, especially like in the Old Testament, you can tell when they didn't have enough, when the priests didn't have enough, because they'd come up with a new thing. If you're pregnant, you have to sacrifice a goat to the priests, and then you're unclean for a certain amount of time. I made a video on it, how it's really just a grift all the way back. It's a grift in the Bible all the way back. It's just stealing from people. And you're not stealing from people just to make money or just to get you're literally preying on the lowest of the low, of the poorest of the poor, telling them to give you their money for a God you don't even know exists.
And I won't argue that religion can be a vehicle for that, 100%.
Yeah. And now you've got that little old lady.
The same vehicle.
Right.
Politics is 100% the same vehicle. You can look at politics, especially these days, as a religion.
Yeah, but I don't think it's kind of the same. These aren't the same. You don't worship and think that you're going to meet Obama when you die. You don't feel like Donald Trump sees you everywhere you are. You don't feel like Donald Trump Jr. knows every time you masturbate. That's ridiculous to put the two together.
That has nothing to do with the negative parts that you're talking that religion brings. Politics brings the exact same negative stuff.
Right. Well, but wouldn't you think
people's money?
Wouldn't you think? Oh, yeah, no doubt. I can't argue that at all, Jeff. No, politicians are all about taking people's money. But wouldn't you think that with the power that their God that they claim to have, I mean, it's got all this power, wouldn't you think it would at the very least be able to protect the most innocent people in its own house?
Obviously, that is...
Wouldn't you think?
The problem of evil has been an ongoing debate in all religions for, no,
it's really kind of a testament to the lack of power of God. It's a testament to the lack of power of God. If you think God's going to protect you from a virus, but didn't protect that 6-year-old boy from that priest, you got a problem in your head. That's what I'm saying.
I understand that. And that goes to blaming Satan or whatever, blaming human nature. I am 100% on board with the fact that human nature is the problem.
I'm saying that God is
religious beliefs.
Right. I'm saying that God is weak and useless and it doesn't do anything. Another example of the harm and how my mission to pull people away from the religion is moral is with the COVID-19. People were out there in groups, huge groups, praying because Jesus was going to protect them from that COVID. That's harmful, man. How many people may have gotten COVID, survived? That's just fine. Then they went to their grandma's house for Thanksgiving and they gave that shit to their grandma and their grandma died. Thank you, Jesus. Jesus has no power there.
People praying to Fauci to save them from COVID.
Well, you know what? If the poor people went to Fauci and got the shot, they would have been okay. Because the shot fucking works. The shot works. I had the shot. I actually got COVID. My COVID, because I got the shot and my immune system was ready for it, my COVID was actually kind of slight. I got a headache for a few days, a little bit of sniff. It wasn't that bad. I did lose an acting job for it because I had the COVID. But yeah, no, COVID, the vaccine works, dude. Prayers to Jesus do not work. Jesus will let you die.
Yeah, 100%. Believe me, you'd see the first skeptic disciple. Like I said, I've gotten into religion, but I still have so many questions, and I don't take anything on.
I get excited.
I ask questions and get answers.
I do get excited. I get excited. Yeah. Well, some of it to me is
I completely understand, a mission to call out, to point out all the hypocrisy and the evils that are pervasive in all religions, but it's not only religions that have that same pervasiveness. Like I said, it's in our politics. It's been man's been manipulating man as long as man's existed.
Can't deny that at all.
Not just in God. I do think that there is the belief in something greater than ourselves, and so somewhere to get humility is important.
Well, we kind of
foundation for morals is important,
right? But see, the God of the Bible is not a place for morals. The God of the Bible teaches you it's okay to have sex with your sister. The God of the Bible tells you it's okay to kill a man for his daughter. And the Bible tells you it's okay to have sex with your own daughters and have children. Lot,
sure.
The story of Lot.
It also tells you not to kill, not to steal.
It does not. Listen, it does tell you not to kill, not to steal. Well, no, listen. It does tell you not to kill. Do not kill. And then the very next chapter, the same God instructs those people to go wipe out an entire civilization, tells them to go commit genocide. So what does do not kill mean? I mean, how many people are going, oh, well, there's this example.
Actually, the Bible says do not murder.
Murder, yeah, I get that. Murder. And that's usually where they kind of try to split their hair, because killing somebody in the name of your God isn't murder somehow.
It's been done as long as it's been a justification for people to kill other people forever.
Right. But murder. So there's
plenty of war and plenty of killing that didn't have anything to do with religion.
Yeah, honestly, but a lot more had to do with
stuff
it.
You're kind of preaching to the choir on.
Right.
A lot of this stuff I definitely don't disagree with you on, but I do think that at least for some people, like, do you believe that people should take antidepressants?
I take antidepressants.
So do I.
If it helps.
I think for a lot of people, their religion is their antidepressant.
Well, let me ask you, all right, though, hold on a second. If my antidepressant forced me out into the street to murder someone, it's not good. If my antidepressant forced me out to where I started taking away the rights of other people, that's not good. If my antidepressant made me want to take women's rights away from them, that's not good. And that's what their comfort blanket does. And now,
for most people, when you're not into the extremes, for most people, their religion doesn't do that to them either.
And yet they go out and
the main teaching in Christianity is supposed to be love your neighbor as yourself. Obviously,
and how's that working out for the Christians?
Do that. Right. Obviously, people don't do that, but neither do people who aren't Christians. Right. So
also,
like I said, I think that there is value in that. I think it comes down to the person, not the entire institution.
Right. Well, in that Bible where you're talking about that says "do not murder." So before that, did they not know not to murder?
Well, obviously,
no. Civilization has taught us that by growing up.
When you get into morality and survival, right?
Well,
we sort of got our morals from survival,
from civilization, from society, from growing up in a civilized society where we learned over hundreds of thousands of years that it's better not to kill people randomly. That it's better not to do this. We didn't need the Bible to do it. Matter of fact, even in the Bible, Moses looked around before he killed someone, before the 10 Commandments were written. He looked around because he knew it was wrong. So these are all, and then you've got, one of the things you've got about these, and I love them, I really don't mean to yank that religion away from that little old lady to make her sad. That's not why I want to do it. If I knew she was never going to vote and never going to hurt anybody, I wouldn't give a shit. But as long as she can still vote for Donald Trump, I'm going to convince her, especially because the Christians, for some reason, the Christians think Donald Trump is the bee's knees. I don't get it. He's fucking the Antichrist, if anything. You know?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't want to get into political talk, but to me, politics and religion don't go hand in hand. You have plenty of Christians who didn't vote for Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I'm a conservative. I can't say I'm a Christian because I'm still working on it. To be honest with you, I 100% hope I become a Christian. I hope that I get that peace and surety of belief. You know what I mean? I'm not sure I will because of just sort of the way that my mind works, but I'm working on it.
That's interesting. I'm curious how you would ever get the proof that would convince you that. What would that be?
Well, I could count on one hand things that I believe absolutely that I can't prove. You know, I can't prove God exists. I can't prove God doesn't exist. Nobody can. But I do believe in creation. I believe in evolution through intelligent design. That's just what makes sense to me when I look at all of everything I can. Septic tank. That's funny. That's the one thing I believe. So then the rest is just sort of trying to figure that out. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure it out. But I do think that there is value. For me, reading the Bible, I take the good things and I sort of sift through, separate the wheat from the chaff, as the saying goes, and all that.
Well, with the Bible, you kind of have to.
It's not going to make me want to sleep with my sister or anything like that.
No, but the Bible tells you it's okay. Matter of fact, Lot is an example. When in the Old Testament, I'll tell you this. Here's the deal. The Old Testament is the face of God. The New Testament is Jesus, who's like a bouncer, a doorkeeper. He either lets you go in with God or he sends you off to the pits of hell. That's what Jesus is, right? But what is God? God is the Old Testament. Go look at the Old Testament.
There is the argument, even with Christians, that the God of the Old Testament is different than the God of the New Testament.
And that's because they want to separate themselves from the horror that is the Old Testament. But Jesus was what?
Yeah, there's some
what was Jesus?
Stuff in the Old Testament.
What was Jesus? Was he a Christian pastor?
He was a rabbi.
He was a Jewish rabbi. He believed in all the things. He came to fulfill the law, not Christian law, Jewish law.
Right. He believed in all things except for the stuff that the Pharisees, there weren't churches back then. It was just mosques or not mosques, but I mean, the temples for the Jews. There weren't Christian churches because Christianity came from Jesus Christ.
From Jesus. Yeah. You're right. That's true.
Yep. So I think like Sermon on the Mount, the Beatitudes, stuff like that, 100%. Awesome, good stuff. The reason why it survived so long is because it's awesome, good stuff. The rest of the stuff, you just have to, like I said, separate the wheat from the chaff.
I'm curious
why. Obviously, bad shit in there.
Right? Why don't the Christians want to put the Sermon in the Mount in every school classroom?
Why don't they?
Yeah, the one that tells them to feed the poor, to love everybody, to be nice to people. Right. That's the Sermon on the Mount. The Ten Commandments is dictatorial. It's you need to learn to commit to follow orders. It's programming.
I won't argue with that. Half of it is just believe in God, and if that's
true. You know what, Jeff? I've appreciated this call. I'm gonna let you go. We need to take a quick break, and whenever we get back, we'll wrap up the show with Kelly, who's calling in on the show. Jeff, I'd love to hear back from you down the road.
Thanks, Jeff.
It's good to talk to you. Talk to you. Thanks.
Fun stuff. Thank you very much. And we'll be back, guys, in just a minute. And whenever we do come back, we're going to do the thing at the place with the stuff for the people. I think we'll do let's do the holy, let's do postmortem. We'll be back in 3, guys. Do you have a loved one who's on their deathbed, but they've yet to give themselves up to the Lord?
Are you sure you don't want to come to Jesus?
No.
This is your final chance.
No. Worried they're headed to the fiery pits of hell.
Your very last chance.
No. I've been wicked and sinful. I deserve to burn in the hot place.
As you wish. Farewell, my heathen husband.
Farewell, my... Well, fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of post-mortem baptismal kits. No more worries about being miserable alone forever. Be a good Christian and share that eternal pain and suffering with the ones you love. I'm in hell. Not as hot as I thought it'd be. Kind of feels like Houston, minus the humidity. Hello? My favorite drink crafted to perfection. Ooh, and some dank ass weed.
I can't bear to be down on my face chanting, holy, holy, holy is the Lord, every day, all day, for all eternity, by myself.
Wow, is that George Carlin? And Alan Turing, look at that. Carl Sagan, oh, I am so honored. You've been my hero since I was a kid. Neil deGrasse Tyson, what are you doing here? Oh, I get it. I get it. Schrodinger's heathen. Very cute, you. Very cute. That's fantastic. Oh, what is that? What is? It's holy water. Oh, it burns. No, this isn't where I want to be. Pabst Blue Ribbon and a Marlboro? No! Father Flanagan's post-mortem baptismal kit. Dead kid tested, Mother Teresa approved. Is that the Pope and John Paul? Jim Jones and Jimmy Swaggart, huh? I can see that coming. Neil deGrasse, what are you doing? Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord.
Thanks, Father Flanagan.
Damn them to an eternity in heaven for only $59.99. They wouldn't appreciate it, but you'll feel better, and that's the point, isn't it? Get yours now. Your heathen loved one's time is running out. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. This is some bullshit. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. We are back. Here we are, guys. Thank you all for joining us. I just wanted to mention, Jeff was talking about how Christians like to separate themselves from the Old Testament. Oftentimes, I find it's the same Christians who want to claim that Jesus fulfilled prophecies. From where? Where did he fulfill those? You just put it right here, from the Old Testament. That's right. That's right. They want to use the Old Testament to prove Jesus, and yet don't like the Old Testament whenever you show them the face of the hideous monster that it really is. We've got Kelly on the phone. Let me bring Kelly up here. I don't know which Kelly. There's lots of Kellys. We'll find out en moment. Well, hello. Do you want to come up here? Hi, Kelly. Can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you doing today, Miss Kelly?
Good morning.
I'm doing great. Good morning, friends.
All right. How are you? What can we do for you today? You were talking about us assigning personhood to God.
Yes. Last time I talked to you folks a couple weeks ago, I think, we ended the conversation, or in the middle of the conversation, I forget which of you I was talking to, Chris, but it was mentioned by one of you that you hated God, and which is totally cool, you know, and it was a nice conversation. And as you know, I'm deconstructing. After the conversation, it occurred to me that whichever one of you said that you hated God, it occurred to me, well, that was kind of assigning a personhood to God.
Yeah.
And I hate to open with asking a question, but it was fascinating to me. If God does not exist, then why the hatred to God, unless the host was trying to speak to me at my level, which I understand that too. On the other hand, another way that I look at it is I love God. However, I hate the behavior of humankind and mankind and individual human beings as they do atrocious things. So I was just wondering if I could throw that out there and hear some good feedback, please.
Okay. Cool. If I may, Miss Ryan, do you hate God?
Yes, it was right.
It might have been me who said it. And whenever I say that, like, as far as I'm concerned, I don't believe in God. But since I talk so much about God and I have to kind of sometimes, at least I feel, get on that level to talk about God, like I assign personhood to Yahweh, like Yahweh wanted this and Yahweh said that. And then people were like, hey, are you atheist or are you a believer? I'm so confused. I'm like, I apologize.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is that people who believed in Yahweh did this. And, you know, so when I say things as if like a feeling about God, it's as if I'm talking about a story, like a character in a story like Voldemort. I don't like Voldemort. I'd say I hate Voldemort and he should have did this or he shouldn't have done that. But yeah, I don't really think he exists or think he's a person. I probably just don't explain myself. I'm not fluent in words. Words are hard.
Yeah, you know, I kind of feel the same way.
Said that. I could see me possibly saying that.
Yeah, I can't.
Well, I didn't mean it like a bad thing. I meant it as in it's all about clarification of communication. And as a newly deconstructed person who just had every belief system kicked out from underneath me due to a sudden understanding that the Bible is not the quote word of God or whatever. And I'm just left with this kind of this bubble floating on the surface of the ocean of still a fundamental belief in a prime mover, cognizant somehow. I just wanted to ask some clarification on that. And of course, I kind of knew what was going the answer that you folks were going to give me, but really appreciate the quote dumbing down of the vocabulary so that I can benefit and we all can benefit.
Awesome.
Because in my view, enough of the baloney. The reason my mind finally released all of that stuff, I believe, is so that I can get into some sort of action in this horrible world where I used to just pray. And
exactly.
And I'm still in a state of shock and desperate, almost frenzied to make a difference. And I think it's wise, actually, to not do anything and just keep taking care of my health for a little bit and learn for a long time. But, you know, right now we have so much going on that requires that all good people step up.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Very true.
You're both a part of me not losing my mind in these early stages. Your words are so appreciated in this isolated world. So anyway.
Most of the time they just tell me I'm crazy. Thank you, Kelly.
That's sweet. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
I do too. Sometimes this gets hard.
Better understanding is what we want.
That's true. Very true. Thank you, Miss Kelly. I just want to mention, I like Kelly said, that by saying I hate God would be giving it personhood that I don't grant. So you'll never catch me saying I hate God. What you will catch me saying is I hate the actions of his followers. Is what you'll hear me saying. To put it in a nutshell.
Yeah. Yes, there are so many reasons I left religion. In the last year, I too have kind of had my fill of incredible cruelty from, you know, a lifetime of cruelty from whatever you want to call it, the social structure of religions of all different types, as I've traveled many different roads. So I'm totally in agreement in that way. And, you know, I think politics and religion are two sides of the same coin in that way.
Yeah.
But enough of my opinion. Any good words today for a lady like me who's floating on a bubble on the surface of the big ocean, trying to make a difference?
Community.
There's a good one. That's a good one.
Community. Honestly, I, like what you said, I really felt like it resonated with me when you said you kind of feel like now you give yourself some time, but you want to maybe do something, whereas before you would just pray. And that's exactly how I was trained. And I say that because I was groomed to not do anything, to stay silent. And now which is why I make content. I would love to do more things in the community. I'm working up to that. I have my own things that I have to work through as well. So I just really wanted to commend you for that. And I feel a lot of the same way that you do.
Yeah. Way to go. Very, if I were to give a word, my word would be, of course, hers was community, and that's wonderful. Mine would be patience. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. You're strong. You can do this, but it's not all in one day. So yeah.
Boy, I wish I was young and could go out there and kick some rear end.
Me too. Me too. I know. Just getting out of the car to shout at the ice people, I'd probably pull a muscle and have to crawl over there, and then I'd already be on the ground. They wouldn't have to knock me down.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
Yeah. Well, it's time for us to wrap up the show. Miss Kelly, thank you for calling us. We very much appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, Kelly. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
And we'll be up tomorrow. Don't forget to give us a call back tomorrow. All right. Have a good day.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. That was wonderful. She's so fantastic. Makes me feel good. Get all fuzzy. I do want to say thank you. Go ahead.
I know that's like she's in that bubble, so I know that feeling. The net just kind of came out, but she's gonna find it. She's gonna find her way.
Tough place to be, But hey, like you said, community. She's in the right spot. Meeting us.
Right. You find community, you start to take patience with yourself, start to think and learn, and it will all come together. It's just a new path. It's change.
Yeah. And your time, patience. We've got some new, I'll let you go, Miss Ryan. I'm going to read our super chats, and I'm going to say hi to a couple of people because we got newbies in the chat. I mean, you're welcome to hang as long as you want. Gone. She's like, I'm out. I do want to say thank you for our super chats. Where's our fan funding? There we go. We got a $2 super chat. Shakespeare is only available in the King James Version. Thank you, Flockmeister, for that. We also got a couple of new subscribers today and a new member to the channel. So I thank you all for that. I want to mention, I like to call out people in the chat. We're wrapping up now, so if you just got here, show up tomorrow, 7 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 a.m. Eastern. I see you out there. Hypatia Stanhope, thank you for joining us today. I've seen you in the chat this morning. I didn't get to say hi. Skeptical Disciple, there you are. Good morning. Kelly Shearer, and I saw quite a few new people. Ad Blockman still wears a diaper after 6,000 years. That's an interesting observation. And DeFreak says that desire to do something is love and you needing to be shared. DeFreak, I saw your post earlier about how we get our kind of morals from God instead of society. And I would argue if that were the case, then they would all be the same if they were coming from a single place. But they're not. Anyway, come back tomorrow and we'll talk more about this. Guys, I very much appreciate you. Thank you all, my friends. Sin safely, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set atone. Confession booths, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the ghost in a holy zone. Father Flanagan here to set the tone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goats, the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace. From your living room to the kitchen sink,